Hey there, my name is Adwoa, and welcome to today's topic. I get questions and concerns from people all the time around how to navigate office politics. I want to talk to you about 3 rules of office politics that you must know in order to navigate it flawlessly. So just keep on watching. The first thing to remember is that office politics exists everywhere. I've had people quit jobs because they said, oh, I couldn't stand the office politics. And I was like, and office politics are there because we as people are what create the office politics. It's people's perceptions, it's the biases, positive biases and not so positive biases, and the key networks and relationships that exist that create what we call office politics. So what I want to talk about in the balance of today is the rules, 3 particular rules around office politics that I think are just foundation setting stuff so that you can navigate office politics flawlessly. The first thing is about relationships. So for you as a person trying to navigate the office politics, it is crucial that you build your relationships early and that you nurture them consistently. And having relationships with random people is not the goal. Having relationships with key influencers is the goal. So how do you build a relationship with a key influencer? Key influencers like people who help them solve problems. When you're a key influencer, it usually means that you have some sort of power, you have some decision-making authority within an organization, or you have a relationship with someone who has power or key decision-making authority in an organization. So when you are in this influencer role, you often have to think about things that may be a bit broader and larger in scope and context. You may not always have the time and bandwidth to think about some of the things that you know are problems or that you know could be problems in the future. And this is where you can step in as a person who's trying to navigate office politics. Building a relationship with a key influencer really goes back to helping them solve a problem. Not just any old problem, a key business problem that you know keeps them up at night, as people often say, or something that kind of weighs on them because they know that it's something they gotta get to, they just haven't gotten to it yet. Just make sure that whatever problem you're helping a key influencer solve, make sure it taps into something that you are naturally good at, taps into your natural strengths, because you don't want to help somebody with a problem that you're not even that great at yourself. My second tip for you around office politics is around a comment I hear all the time when people say, oh, I don't want to play the games of office politics, it's so high school. But you know what? It is a game and you really should play, because the alternative, which is not playing, which is called opting out, means that you never win. Too often we get sidetracked by disappointment or discomfort with the idea of even having to navigate office politics that we just backpedal and we opt out. But when we opt out, we remove ourselves from opportunities, the known opportunities and the unknown positive opportunities that could have come to us. So don't opt out. Instead, look at it as a game. And when you do think of it as a game, here's how I want you to think of it. Think of it with 2 main things in mind. You don't win all the time. Okay? What I also want you to think about when you think about it like a game is that you have to think a few steps ahead. So when you're playing chess or you're playing poker, you've got to be able to read the room, you've got to be able to read your opponents, you've got to be able to think a few steps ahead. So take that same mindset, that same philosophy that you would take to playing any game, any sport, and apply it to the world of business. The third and final thing I want us to talk about today when it comes to office politics is not to take it personally. It can really feel personal when people don't invite you to certain things, or you make a point in a meeting and it feels like people ignored you. All that stuff that can be a part of office politics can really feel like, what is it about me that these people don't like? But don't look at it that way, because it really isn't personal. It usually is about the game, and it's usually about some unknown things that may or may not even be related to you. One tip that I recently read that I loved, because I find myself falling prey to this sometimes as well, is that when you're in a moment and maybe you feel like there's a bit of office politics weighing into the conversation and it's starting to feel very personal for you in the moment, to really start to change the focus of where you're looking in the conversation. what ends up happening is that our brain, because of the emotion that we're starting to feel and this eye-to-eye connection that we're doing, starts to ignite our fight or flight impulse from our prehistoric beings. Like, they are still in us, okay? Change where you're looking. Instead of looking eye to eye with the person, maybe look down for a moment, regroup yourself, and then look in between their eye, or look at their forehead, or look at their nose. Look in the general vicinity of their eyes, but not directly in their eyes. Believe it or not, it actually works. And I hadn't even thought about it until I was reading it in an article, and I said, yes, I want to share it with my viewers. So there you go. So that's what I have for you today around office politics. So you just learned 3 different things, 3 rules of the road when it comes to office politics and navigating it flawlessly. Build relationships with key influencers. Yes, treat it like a game and play to win, and don't take it personally. So if you're digging this content, here's what you do. You like it and you share it. And if you still feel like you need a little bit more of what we're sharing, or maybe even a lot more of what we're sharing, then you head over to the site that's listed right here and you sign up for those email updates. That way you never miss out on videos just like this one that I drop right into the inboxes of my email subscribers only. Organizations all over the world, big and small, in every single industry, need that unique gift that only you bring. So go out into the world today and act with conviction. Be courageous and live joyfully every single day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I cannot wait to see you again at our very next video.